Hello, today we're going to talk to you about base shoe. When you finishing off a hardwood floor or laminate floor and you've got go ahead and put your baseboard on, sometimes there's irregularities within the floor itself which you can have some gapping at the bottom. So there's two ways to take care of this. So you can either take a quarter round or you can take a base shoe. Now the difference between a quarter round and a base shoe is a quarter round is going to be even on both sides and half mooned on the other side. A base shoe is longer on the top side, a little bit narrow on the bottom, and is rounded on the top with a flat face. So when it comes to cutting our base shoe, we want to make sure that we know what kind of an angle we're talking about. Are we talking about a true 45 or do we have something that's a little bit irregular? So you can go ahead and see that we're not working with a true 45. So when we go to cutting this base shoe, we want to make sure that we adjust our saw and that we've got the proper angle for a good tight fit on our outside corner. Now when you're installing the base shoe, it's nice to work from an outside corner back. That way you know you're going to get your tightest fit. Now on an outside corner, you might be going to an outside corner. You want to make sure that your angles are perfect because you're going to have a one-time try unless you have a splice in the middle. But a lot of times it's nice to work from an outside corner to an inside corner because this is the corner that's going to stick out the most and it's going to need to be most aesthetically pleasing. Okay, so I've taken my angle at the saw, and remember, we're not working with a true 45, so I've actually made a little bit of a deeper cut, a little bit more of an angle to account for the corner that is not a true 45. So when we go ahead and cut, we want to make sure that we tape our material. Again, taping the material when you drop the saw blade through it is going to make sure that you have a nice clean edge. It's going to save it from splintering or damaging the finish. Now that I made my cut, you can see the tape has given us a clean edge with no splintering and no damage to the finish. So when it comes to fastening the base shoe to the baseboard, there's two ways you can do this. The easiest way is with a brad nailer, which is we're lucky enough to have right now. The other way is to pre-drill and use finishing nails. Pre-drilling and finishing nails is going to take a little bit longer. You have to be a little bit more careful, and you should go ahead and use the tape when you're actually drilling and hammering so you don't damage the face of the material. The brad nailers typically come with a soft point, which will protect the finish and will not dent it when installing the brad nails. Either way, you want to make sure that you've got enough air pressure that you countersink your finishing nails, or even when you're doing the pre-drill and finishing nails, you want to go make sure that that is countersunk a little bit, which you can do with a center punch. That way you've got enough room for your putty. You want to make sure that your putty sinks into that hole, you get a nice clean finish, and it's got enough depth to bond to it. So we're going to go ahead and install it. What we want to do is we want to work from that outside corner. We want to work from that outside corner back. Again, we want that nice tight finish. That's going to be aesthetically the most visible. So we want to make sure we've got a tight fit. So let's go ahead and get this fastened. All right, there you go. Now we've got a nice tight outside corner. Aesthetically, that's what you want. It's the most pleasing. We're fastened tight to the wall. Then we can go ahead and countersink them and putty it and be finished. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your next project.